Welcome to Keepin' It Real, your go-to radio show for fresh insights and vibrant introductions. Get ready to dive into a world where we offer you the latest in real estate wisdom and the juiciest community tidbits. From expert advice courtesy of top realtors to opportunities to give back through local charities, we've got you covered. Plus, we'll shine a spotlight on the young athletes driving our local sports scene and uncover the buzzworthy happenings both in town and beyond. Stay tuned for a jam-packed hour of enlightenment and entertainment right here on Keepin' It Real.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell. I'm here at the Sherry Ethell Team, Long Realty Studios, right here behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. And today we have a great lineup today, wonderful guest. I'm excited to have him in the studio. But before we get to that, I kind of want to give a shout out to a couple of things that are going on this week and then in the coming weeks. Definitely want to get you out to Pirates of the Caribbean, the 2025 Relay for Life of Sierra Vista. It's today at 2 o'clock. It runs till 10 o'clock at Veterans Memorial Park. So that's where it's all going down. It's a great event, and it's a community gathering, team fundraising. It's a cancer walk where members take turns walking around the track, signifying cancer never sleeps, and it symbolizes perseverance and the actions needed to change the future of cancer for their patients. Now, the mission of Relay for Life is to raise funds to improve cancer survival, decrease the evidence of cancer, and improve the quality of life for cancer patients and their caretakers. The American Cancer Society's vision is to end cancer as we know it for everyone. And their signature elements at this event is there's a celebration of cancer survivors and caregivers. I think that's pretty cool that they include the caregivers in there too, because they're a big part of it, whether they're family, friends, or licensed caregivers. But it's such a great, event. The Luminaria will be there to honor and remember the loved ones and the opportunities to fight back against cancer. It's a great time to get out there. And, so many people have been touched by cancer. Almost everybody knows somebody who has passed from cancer, a family member, a friend, but he was touched by cancer and beat it, but a lot of people have been touched by this thing. And this is a really big event. And it's why they all wear purple. Every cancer has its own designated color, and purple represents all types of cancer, and it symbolizes hope. This is the 31st year for Sierra Vista participating in this event that's been 40 years running. So it's just an amazing activity. There's going to be a live DJ, theme laps, the frozen teas, hula hoops, bubbles. The JROTC is going to do cadence and all kinds of cool stuff out there. You'll have treasure hunt, raffles, great prizes. There's even going to be a kids play and activity area, which is really cool. They brought that back. And then there's the Mr. Relay, and which everybody loves, and the food vendors. So definitely a great opportunity. Come out all throughout the day. You don't have to stay the whole time, but if you want to, there's some great things, and there's going to be some surprise prizes for those people who stick around. So definitely want to try to do that. And that's a spectacular chance to win great prizes. And so you won't want to miss that. Again, this is just a great opportunity to gather together to kind of celebrate cancer survivors and get out there and walk for somebody, or walk in memory of somebody, or send up one of those luminarias. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be holding those things down in place with canned food. So don't forget, bring your canned foods. Make sure it's not expired. It should be, good through the end of the summer, this next summer, 2026. So I think it's June or July 2026. They want those things to still be good by then, because obviously they're going to give them to a food pantry, and that's super, super, super important. So just something out there. Another shout out we want to give, just a special shout out to the Lions Club International. The Huachuca City Lions Club's offering a car show, and you know how we love car shows. We do. It's also today, and it's really coming up fast. Registration's open from 9 to 10 a.m. The show's from 9 to 1 p.m. It's only $20 the day of, and there's a 50-50 raffle and door prize raffles, so definitely want to take part of that. There's trophies awarded at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, food vendor on site. It's located across from City Hall near the city pool in Huachuca City. So that's the Huachuca City Lions Club car show, and a great opportunity to come down and bring your car if you're a car enthusiast, or even if, you just want to hang out and see some cool stuff, that's a great place to be. Now, one of the things we want to give a shout out to, we got Halloween coming up in the park at Veterans Memorial Park. The Women's Council of Realtors, they are putting on that huge event, and it's going to be so much fun. There's going to be all kinds of trick-or-treaters. So many people come out in town, thousands of people all dressed up. It's really fun. It's great to see the kids out there. They enjoy this great environment, get tons of candy at one place. Great opportunity for parents, I'm sure. But they need volunteers too. So if you're interested, contact the Women's Council of Realtors here in town. They'd love to be able to help you get involved at the Halloween in the park. And that's at Veterans Memorial Park on Halloween, the 31st. Now, one last thing, too, we want to shout out for is the third annual Pups on Parade. That's right. The pups are back. It's a free, family-friendly event, and it is not like any other dog show you've ever seen. So this dog show is shelter dogs are the show dogs, and a little different kind of a twist. And they're from the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center right here in town, our local shelter. So it's in cooperation with the Sierra Vista Police Department and the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center. That's all the wonderful ACOs and folks out there who work there and volunteer there. They'll all be out for Pups on Parade this year. It's brought to you by Doc's Watering Hole, where it'll be held at, and the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. And it'll be on November 15th, 2025 at Doc's Watering Hole from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's going to be on-site adoptions for those of you who would like to get a pet and are considering that, so you'll have that opportunity. And, of course, there will be awesome food and beverages, great music, a silent auction, vendors, and, of course, those puppy hugs and kisses. You can come down and meet the pups themselves before and after the event. So it's a great opportunity to come down, celebrate these great dogs, and to give them some love out there and cheer them on as they strut their stuff down the big green runway, that turf runway. They really love the event. I think you'll love the event. Come down to Doc's Watering Hole on November 15th, 2025, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and enjoy Pups on Parade. Now, one thing I do want to mention is we're still looking for silent auction sponsors. So that silent auction, we're accepting donations from both individuals and businesses for these. Build a basket, donate an item, or simply donate some funds to purchase an auction item, and we'll take care of the rest and put it in your name. We're happy to display business cards, logos, or your name with your generous gift, or if you want to be anonymous, we got you covered for that too. We'd love to have you at the show. Remember that all donations are tax deductible and benefit the nonprofit Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter in support of the Sierra Vista Police Department and the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center. Or you could sponsor a pup. Now, the sponsorships, they're special. So they actually help cover some of the medical costs, the adoption fees. You know, we get them all spayed and neutered and vaccinated and get them all ready, get their health checked out, and before they go out to adoption. So we want to make them all ready to go and free. Last year, we actually sponsored every single dog at the shelter. We hope to do that again. So it's only $300 to sponsor a show dog, or $150 for one of the shelter dogs left behind. And you'll see their pictures. You'll get your name and your business if you've got a business, or it could be an individual or family. And we'd love to show that up on the big screens. We give shout outs on social media, shout outs to the event, and best yet, your gift will help cover all those medical and adoption fees that go to the shelter dogs to get them on the road to finding their forever home. And don't forget, they're all tax deductible, and they benefit your local nonprofit, Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter, in their support of the SVPD and the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center. Call Sherry at 717-599-2439, and we can get you hooked up with a sponsorship of these great pups or the silent auction. Again, that's Pups on Parade. That's November 15th, 2025, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hope to see you there cheering on the pups. And don't forget to pick your favorite pup, because you get to pick the award for that. And there'll be all kinds of awards for all the pups and some great opportunities to hand those out. So come on down. Let's get everybody involved and help us out with this great cause. So we're going to get our guest into the studio and settle in and get him all ready. And we'll be right back after these brief messages.
What's in a name? Everything. Long Realty has been a cornerstone of Southern Arizona's real estate market for nearly 100 years. Our name is our bond, and our agents are our strength. Trust in the name that stands for experience and expertise. Visit longrealty.com or call 520-459-4993 to connect with an agent today. Long Realty. Smart move.
Good morning, good Saturday morning, and welcome to the Keepin' It Real radio show brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios right here behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. Got a wonderful show today. I got Bill Bonner in here from Rain Photography, and he's going to talk to us all about photography and the art form. And welcome to the show. It's your first time here.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, and I don't know that actually we've ever done a photographer on the show, so that's kind of cool. Another new first. But before we kind of get down the road a little bit, we always do this with our guests. We kind of get to know the person behind the business. Behind every business is a cool person here in the community, and behind every person is a story. And so we like to tell that story a little bit. So first start off, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, how'd you get to Sierra Vista? How'd that happen?
Sure. I was actually born in Germany. My dad did 21 years Army and served kind of Germany, then Sierra Vista in Germany, and then Sierra Vista, and he retired.
Oh, wow.
So,
retired here.
Yeah. And so, I was along for the ride. And that's kind of how I got here, finished high school here, and then did college up in Tucson, got married, had kids, and came back. But my parents have stayed here.
The whole time?
Yeah, the whole time.
After they retired and kind of like that?
Yeah, and so, I come back for holidays and weekends and stuff like that. And then,
What made you decide to kind of end up moving here then after college and all of that?
Yeah, I'd say there was a couple days where I'm just sitting in traffic up in Tucson, and it was just like hours of my life being wasted. Why am I here? Yeah, and Tucson's not the greater part of Tucson is not very pretty, So it's just like you're sitting in industrial, sucking fumes of on the interstate at a standstill, and you're just like, man, I don't know. And so it was kind of like that. And then when we had kids, packing up the whole house to go, run a simple errand, it was 30 minutes one way, and then you unpack the car and you get in the car, get in the whatever you're doing, mailbox or grocery store or whatever you're doing, and then you pack everyone back up and you drive a half hour back, and then you got to unpack into that. It was just my life.
Yeah.
it was too much. And so we wanted to come back and kind of a little slower pace. I love to travel, but it's great to have a real soft landing. Just that's
a great way to put it.
A good place to be here, and the weather's always great. And I've been around in the community for a long time, so it's I know a lot of people, and it just kind of fit.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, you said you were born in Germany. Do you have any memories of Germany?
Oh, yeah. We were there about 7 years. So, because we did two
back and forth.
Yeah, 2 tours there. So, I remember the food. I remember a lot of the villages and stuff. My dad was really good about, the Volksmarches and stuff, doing the big hikes and stuff throughout the lands. And we did a couple things out into a couple tours into Holland and Austria and Switzerland. And, so I remember a lot of that.
Cool stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
But not every kid gets to do that.
No.
Now, did you pick up some of the language while you were there?
So, just like they have Spanish class here, they had German class there.
Yeah.
So I can count to 10 probably. That's probably what I got.
Yeah.
And
it's funny how if you don't use it all the time, it kind of starts to drift away a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. I spoke Spanish a lot during my career, and then although I could probably interrogate you better than I could ask you about your lunch, but I didn't get to use it very much in those last few years, and so I try to practice it every once in a while.
Right.
But it's slipped away a little bit, so it's tough.
Yeah, it is.
So I appreciate learning a little bit about you and your family and everything, and now your kids are here and they're going to school here locally. What do you like about Sierra Vista? I mean, what are some of your favorites about this town?
I love that everything's close by.
Yeah.
And there really isn't anything that you have to go out of town for unless it's something specialty. Everything can be accomplished in town in 10 minutes or less, and string a couple errands together and you'd be back home and be done. I think that's what I think of right away. And then obviously, like I said, the weather. The weather's just always really great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And great sunsets. It's good that good desert sunsets, and then the diversity. I mean, you can do. I always tell people that aren't from here, you can do anything in a day.
Yeah.
You could go snowboarding and surfing within a day's drive. and it's just located in a place where you have the mountains, you can get access to a beach, you can, you have parks, you have all the exploration you wanted to ever do outdoors.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so even for me as photography, the conversation always starts like, what do you like in the area? What do you like most? What's foreign to you? And so as you have like kind of a transient community, they'll be like, oh, well, I've never seen mountains. I'd love to have mountains in my photos. Okay, we'll do that. Then it's like other people that maybe have been here the whole time, they want fall colors or something, maybe that you
can't find right exactly here, so you got to drive a little bit too.
Yeah. Had
That's
people
cool.
like, I'd love, saguaros, or, big cactuses, big desert, and we can do that. And then, out west, we have Sonoyta, which is like rolling grasslands. It's like prairie. Yeah. And so anyways, it's just, and there's water. There's water in the area. Like you have to look for it, but it's not like super easy and prevalent. Right. But, there is water if people really want water in their photos and stuff like that. So anyways, it's kind of one of those fun things. One of my clients had asked me, like, I'd love to have, green in my pictures. And they're like, well, when are we shooting? And it's like January. You want green photos in January? And I found it. I knew a place. But it was just one of those things where, like, there's so much diversity that allows me to stay just very fresh, I guess. Yeah. And, having grown up in the area, I know a lot of places. I was a Boy Scout growing up, so a lot of camping. And so, like, I know, like, the back roads and stuff like that and I'm always looking for something new, so...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and it kind of leads into our conversation about rain photography and kind of getting into your profession. Mm-hmm. So where did rain photography come from? Sure. Where did the name rain come from? Sure. Almost sounds German.
Yeah, right. I'm a Christian photographer. And so I love the royal theme of the Bible. Okay. And so I kind of always knew if I had a business growing up, it was going to be rain. I just like that. It was like, it's strong, it's masculine, romantic. And so when I came in and had the logo designed, like I kind of talked about some of that vision. Yeah. And the guy was great and ran with it and came up with a really good logo. And so, yeah, it was just something that isn't super upfront in your face, but it was like something that you could read and understand. Like, there's a little cross in the camera.
Yeah, I see that on your shirt. It's got the little, for those who are listening, and can't see it, he's got a little camera beside the rain, and it's got a kind of subtle cross right in the lens.
Yeah. So it's just, it's just one of those things where that's the way I view the world. Like, that's my lens, if you will. Okay. And so that's kind of where it started. The other side piece of it was I didn't want to name it after myself, just in case, like, my kids wanted it.
Okay, that's kind of a good thing. That's nice.
It kind of is something that maybe future forward they could, if they had the gumption to take on and be a photographer in their lives, then it would be something they could easily take when I was ready. So that was the idea.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. We're going to talk to Bill Bonner some more about rain photography and what it's like to be a photographer and some of the special things you need to know when going into that field. We'll be right back, folks, after these messages. Keep it real. Cochise County, it's that time again. The third annual Pups on Parade is back at Doc's Watering Hole Saturday, November 15th from 11 to 2 p.m.
That's right. Join us at Doc's for music, food, vendors, a silent auction, on-site adoptions, and of course the all-shelter dog pup pageant. 10 amazing dogs from our local shelter will strut their stuff down the runway, competing in fun categories.
This must-see event benefits the Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter in cooperation with the Sierra Vista Police Department and the whole team at Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center.
Want to help our pups? Businesses and any community member who just loves dogs can donate a basket for the auction or sponsor a pup. $300 for show dogs, $150 for dogs back at the shelter. Call 717-599-2439 for details.
Sponsors get their name up on the big screens at Doc's, on the social media, and shout-outs throughout the show. It's a great way to give back and help the community.
It's a family affair, so bring your friends and family, enjoy some great food, and meet some possum dogs at the big show.
It's Pups on Parade, Saturday, November 15th at Doc's Watering Hole, because every dog deserves their day.
In a town with heart and history, the Sherry Ethell Team is the key. Serving Sierra Vista, we agree. For military law and retirees, stress-free process you will see. Personal care is our guarantee. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team, we never halt. Real experts here to guide your way, making dreams come true every single day. Trusted team that knows just what to do. The Sherry Ethell Team, working for you. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team is your one and only call.
All right, folks, welcome back to Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell. I'm your host, and this is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios right here in sunny Sierra Vista. And I'm joined with Rain Photography, Bill Bonner. He's the owner-operator, and we're talking photography. So you kind of went through the Rain and how it came about and everything. When did you first start getting interested in photography? How far does it go back?
Yeah. So my mom reminded me in fourth grade, I think we were in Germany, and the school or King or something in the area put out a contest, photo contest.
Okay.
And they handed out, disposable cameras to kids and go take pictures around. Anyways, I ended up winning that. I forget what it was. Big gift card to Burger King probably or something like that.
Yeah.
And the picture hung in the restaurant. And I think that's maybe how far back it goes.
Wow, fourth grade, that's kind of pretty far.
So I always knew I took pictures different. I could watch my dad take a picture and know, you could do it a little different with a better outcome, and not knowing anything about it, just knowing, like, looking at the scene and looking at what was going on.
So you always had the eye for it.
Yeah, it's kind of there.
Do you feel like it's an artistic eye, or is it something different?
It's it's a couple different pieces, but yes, how when you boil it down, it's how do you take 3 dimensions and make it look good in 2? You know what I mean? That's kind of just like we're on an audio radio show, and I'm talking visual. You know what I mean? It's like the same idea. Is like, how do you take a scene and layer it so that when you compress it into a 2-dimensional picture, it looks good, or it's aesthetically pleasing, And so then, kind of going into, I guess, college, I had an opportunity to take electives and jumped into black and white photography, film photography. And that's kind of where I learned the rules. It's kind of like, the rules of thirds, leading lines, stuff like that you would learn in school. Why one thing works, why one thing doesn't. Learn the rules, then break the rules. That was always the thing. Okay. So this is how you do it, but then do it different. Then you can come up with something different and new. Yeah,
because there's a lot of photographers out there,
Sure.
obviously, and I think most of us, from our area, at least, we kind of like grew up with a real camera, not your phone. And so everybody was learning how to use a camera back then. Seems like there's not as many people now actually taking pictures with a real camera,
Yeah. Photography is very accessible now. Anyone with a phone, like you said, can go out and take great
and they're
pictures.
Pretty amazing pictures, some of them. Yeah, the phone does.
You can edit
good.
them on the phone. You can do everything. So
we'll definitely have to talk about that and what that does to the industry. But,
sure.
Let me ask you. So you've been, obviously, this has been a passion of yours your whole life. When did rain photography become a thing?
Yeah. So after that college class, family kind of chipped in, gave me a DSLR, like a bigger camera, and I was just shooting kind of the family with it and stuff like that, hobby stuff. And people would ask me every year, okay, can you take my Christmas card picture? And I'd go out and do that. And then it must have been 2013, 2014. And someone asked me, hey, can you shoot my twin sister's wedding?
Oh, wow.
I was like,
that's a big step.
I was like, I have zero clue when it comes to the wedding. And so anyways, I did some research, and I said, as long as you understand, this is what it is. I'm a new hobbyist. It's not going to be, the ability is not going to be there. And, we negotiate on a price, and I need a couple specific pieces of equipment to be able to do the wedding. And me and my wife did it together. She kind of just helped me administratively, and I photographed everything, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun, like a lot of high pressure.
Were you happy with the pictures and everything when they came out?
On the day it was done, it was good. But I look back now, and you
could have done better. Obviously, well, I mean, geez, you're look how long you've been in it, and you've been doing a good job with it, and so you get better and better, I'm sure, at that profession.
So after that, it was kind of like the eye opening of like, hey, we could do this. We could probably do this. And so I did it part-time for roughly about a year and a half or something, and got busy enough between my day job and the photography on the weekends and nights.
What'd you do before?
I did a handful of things. Yeah. So in college, I was an intern for Walt Disney World.
Oh, wow.
In Orlando.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Good grief.
And did that for like...
Interesting.
It was a custodial job, but it got me business elective credit for I attended some business classes and stuff out there while we did that. It was great. On paper, it was like, what am I doing? Custodial, bathrooms, trash. Like it was, but it was perfect for me because I got to walk the parks and interact
see the
with
behind
people.
the scenes. That's kind of neat.
And then when I came back, I actually went through kind of the ranks of CVS Pharmacy, Osco Drug, and then CVS Pharmacy, and went from clerk to store manager. Ran pharmacies up in Tucson, and then I transitioned out of that. Retail's not the finest thing.
It's a tough business. Yeah, anybody in retail knows.
Then I got in with Mission Linen and Uniform. Did like route running for uniforms, mats, mops. Real stinky job.
Did that kind of help you along doing these different jobs and testing the waters, while you're young and everything? Did you kind of help you go, none of this is for me. I really want to do that other thing, full time. What was consistent was you continued to bump up on that ceiling. Yeah. And,
if you wanted to like improve and grow and do things different, it was always like there was always some type of infrastructure that stopped you, management, rules, policies, stuff like that. And that was the thing. I was always hitting that, So I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to kind of be able to explore. If you had a way to do things better, like go and do it, And so that's kind of what I did with Mission Linen again. Kind of did that for about 4 years or something. That was a surprise. It was supposed to be just an in-between.
Yeah.
And that was and kind of the continuous point through all that was people, and that's kind of what we'll get into with the photography is people. Yeah. It was always relationship building. It was always, how do you deal with a wide range of people. And that was the thing with the linen driving was, I got to know a lot of different people, and they'd hear about, that I did pictures on the side and stuff. And so I'd get a little bit of business from just talking and doing that. And that's kind of where it grew to a point where I couldn't sustain both. Yeah. And so lined it up in a summer where I could kind of do some vacation and get some time off, put my 2 weeks in, and kind of launch full-time photography. Was that scary for you guys? Or was it, who was more scared, you or your wife? Probably my wife, yeah. Easy. Yeah. Yeah. I had enough business set up for about 6 months. Okay. And I was like, that's pretty good, actually. A lot of people don't start businesses with much. Right. Yeah, that's actually good. And so I was like, if we fall on our face in 6 months, I did really well with the linen, and I was like, I knew I could go back to that real easy. I actually won an award right when I left. Yeah. And so it was kind of cool to know I could fall back on that, and I kind of made sure that those bridges weren't burned or anything. Right. So, keep a safety net. Yeah. And so, nice. But yeah, it just continued to grow and sustain. Thank God. So. All right. Well, that's cool. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. Let's talk a little more about photography itself, and we'll hear more from Bill Bonner at Rain Photography coming right up next. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. This is the Sherry Ethell Team, Long Realty Studios, keeping it real.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Sherry's amazing team brings honesty, expertise, and a deep understanding of the local market. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned homeowner, they're committed to your peace of mind and handle every detail for you. Their approach? Personalized service, above and beyond transactional real estate, building lifelong relationships, nationwide connections, local expertise. There's a reason this team is amongst the top realtors in Arizona and across the nation. You owe it to yourself to call or visit the Sherry Ethell Team, the top team at Long Realty, behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more info. Real integrity, real results.
Do uneasy markets have you waiting for the ideal moment to make home ownership a reality? Your answer lies in a conversation with Sherry Ethell and her exceptional team at Long Realty, a name synonymous with trust and reliability in Arizona's real estate landscape.
Hi, I'm Sherry Ethell, Realtor and Team CEO of the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. Your ideal moment has arrived. We tailor our approach to you and your needs and goals. Let us put our extensive network to work for you and take the stress out of the process.
Whether buying or selling, remember the name Sherry Ethell and the Sherry Ethell Team. Visit the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more information. Real integrity, real results.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Keepin' It Real. This is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I'm Dion Ethell, and I am your host, if you're just tuning in. I've got Rain Photography, Bill Bonner, in here, and first time we've had a photographer on the show, so glad you're here, Bill. And we've been talking about a variety of different things kind of centered on photography, but we haven't really drilled in a lot yet. Tell me about what kinds of photography that you do. I mean, what's your staple, I guess, and give me your range of things that you do for the community here.
So as far as like services go, I do just about everything. The only thing I don't do is boudoir. Boudoir is the only service that I don't offer. So I do everything from family, kids, pets.
All right, welcome everyone to our little community show.
So
keep it real. I'm Dion Ethell.
Yeah, PG-13 is pretty safe.
Yeah, guests and interesting facts behind the scenes is what makes service great.
So then I'll get into advanced weddings.
You know that we have a number of different kinds of guests on Keeping It Real. We host charities, event organizers, the city,
a little bit of real estate every
law
once in a while,
folks from our educational institutions,
the
student
key
athletes,
is with
business
me,
spotlights,
being in
even
a smaller
chats with
community
interesting
and being
residents.
full-time,
yeah,
I have to be pretty
a little bit
diverse.
about
So
the
I
world
do
real
a
estate
pretty
because
wide
it is
range
brought to you
of
by the Sherry
photography.
Ethell Team
But
right here at
I
Long
would
Realty
say
behind
that
Denny's on
people
Fry
seek me
Boulevard.
out
Now, in
specifically
fact,
mainly
stay
for
tuned
headshot
for a
photography,
soon-to-be-released
imaging,
future
and
show
then
highlighting
weddings. I do a
first-time
lot of
buyer
weddings,
opportunities, interest rates, and the current local market. So that could be interesting for you. If
Do you do many graduation pictures?
real
I know you've
estate
done
and interested
everybody in our family.
Sure.
In fact, he's got a box here from my last graduate here.
Yes.
Today we have a great lineup for you. We have two very special events coming up.
I don't know what a lot would be.
I'd
say between 6 and 12 a year or something like that.
So you do a handful in our community.
So it's just
I
one of
won't
the
spoil
many
their
things
announcements, so
I do.
we'll
it's just
dive right in. But after we remind you of a future event for next month that we really want your help in attendance
I don't
on.
know, to me,
That's the
from
third
an outsider's
annual
perspective,
parade.
one, it would make me nervous.
It's
It's the big day,
right?
from 11
I mean, you
a.m.
only get one,
hopefully one shot at it, and it's just it's a pretty important day. Everybody's looking at the pictures. Everyone wants to see the pictures afterwards. My wife still pulls out our video.
The show dogs are actually all local shelter dogs
we have to
trying
dig
to
out
find
the
a home.
disc.
It's a unique way to band
play
together
it.
with
So,
the community.
do you ever get nervous
for
for
a
a
photo shoot for
So I kind of thrive on it. Yeah, it is something that excites me and gets me going. I'll tell you, like, physically, maybe I lose my appetite that day. I kind of don't eat much on that day, just because of the little bit of nerves getting started. I do a lot of planning with the couple and kind of try my best to kind of
thanks to the city
lay
of
out
Sierra
kind of an expectation of what this is going to be and look like. Like I said, I've been doing it long enough where
we really
every
hope
wedding's
to get
different,
you out to this awesome
and every
free
wedding's
show
unique,
to support these animals.
I
Of course,
love being able to
donations
kind
are
of walk
welcome,
them
and we'd
through
love
that
you to get in
process.
on the
And
amazing
I stress to them,
prizes and stuff
you're
that
not
we'll
going to
have on
remember
our
everything. You're
auctions.
not going to remember. It's a vast day.
Also get in on sponsorship.
And,
Anyone can sponsor a dog.
And so, the pictures are what's going to stay for you to be able to remember back on, like, oh, those people were there.
Covers our
that
show
happened.
dogs.
Oh, this was funny. Oh, this, it'll trigger all these memories.
Photos of the animals with your logo and or your name
on that day.
up on the big screens the day of the event.
Didn't even know this person was there. I didn't even know, I completely forgot that. So stuff like that. It's just kind of
thank you
fun
for
me
your special gift of life.
Allow them to relive.
It's a meaningful donation that'll cover adoption fees.
I always tell them, like, you have to like your photographer
because
you're going to spend more time with me than you are with your spouse that day.
It's quite expensive these days, but the friends will help cover the rest. And of course, the entire event is brought to you by Doc's Watering Hole and the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, in cooperation, of course, with the friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter.
So you're kind of a funny guy, and you're pretty easygoing, very laid back, and make people feel pretty comfortable anyway. But you seem like the type of person who would like to get those candid pictures of stuff going on, whether they're funny or whether it's a moment or whatever.
To ensure
do you do that a lot? Do you like to do that?
And our animals
so there is
are
a
safe.
skill in photography.
We really couldn't do it
lines
without
of like
you,
a
so I hope you'll come
photojournalism.
down. I hope to see you this year at this award-winning celebration of pets this year,
like that,
the third annual Pups on Parade at Doc's Watering Hole on Saturday, November 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And you have to be able to
It's open to the public and it's
not the
free,
future, but like
and bring
see
your kids.
the potential
It's a
of them
family
kind of coming together and interacting.
we'd love to have you.
And so as a photographer, you want to be ready. You want to be ready for that candid.
All right,
you want
let's
to be
get
ready.
our first guest in the studio.
I might not be able to hear your story
break.
you're telling.
Don't turn that down.
But I can tell it's a funny one,
real.
right? And so I have to wait for the punchline.
What's in
and then
catch them in the moment.
And then when their heads throw back and they're laughing out loud, boom, that's the picture, boom. And so so it's kind of stuff like that. Or if you have like the one kid running around, making a mess, not being paid attention to, and you want to see like, okay, where's he going? What's he? Oh, he found this. Oh, what's he gonna do with it? You know, what I mean, like you can kind of interact with these random pieces as if you want to call it like a third
Saturday
party. Like I'm kind of the stranger, right? I'm the stranger of the day,
and
so I'm kind of floating around. I can kind of get in and out of situations
Long Realty
because I don't know anyone really.
Yeah,
and
right
so
behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. I am
looking for those
pieces
today
with two wonderful guests.
Going back to the photojournalism piece, like when you talk about like street photography or events and stuff like this,
and they're both
you have to be able to kind of see the pieces in a big room and how they're going to interact.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. Good
see
morning.
macro.
All right. Well, I kind of want to get to know each of you. Now we've had Janet on the show many times. Wow, we've never had you.
And so then the next layer is like lighting, that's okay. Background.
Yeah, the actual photography, all the elements there that you need. How long have you been? Do you ever find that when you're trying to get that candid moment, it might not always be perfect for
over
a
23
photo?
years. It started as a
do
work
you deal with
team.
that?
One of our
you're saying like if I get the image, but maybe it's not perfect.
Yeah,
so that's when I started.
Can you edit some of that stuff?
I moved here back in 1997. It was
I always
my
say it's a
husband's and
creative
I
cropping
last
or
duty
creative
station
licensing. You know, you can kind of take out anything.
So you guys came down to here, and you were
get into the visual art.
Yeah,
it's kind of hustle bustle at a wedding sometimes.
Yeah,
you get a lot of people moving around.
You get what you get. Like at the end of it, you get what you get.
It's not a second take. Yeah, man, I wish you would have been my photographer at my wedding with Sherry. She actually made her own bouquet, and she was in there fixing it right before the wedding. We were getting ready to go from the hotel, and she's literally snapping every head off of every flower on accident because she's so nervous. It's making me nervous.
She's fidgeting a little bit.
Yeah, she was just like snapping them off, and she was getting all panicked. Yeah, she's all in tears, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
In high school.
But I'm sure all kinds of moments like that. You probably see some pretty funny stuff going on.
After high school,
no, I mean, I shoot on average maybe 12 to 24 weddings a year, and so I've been in business for about 11 now, so that puts me over 200. You know,
now you're retired, right?
I'm pretty easily reaching 200 weddings over having photographed the whole time. And so you have your things. You know, I tell you, if you talk to some photographers, they either love or hate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's kind of it is the kind of the breaker of a photographer. It's like if they don't like it,
Tammy through a work team
with fall out.
Start Relay for Life.
Yeah. And so you have to really kind of embrace what that looks like and what that day is, and what that event is, what that job is.
Well, I would think too, if you're like not enjoying shooting the event, that probably shows through a little bit. Well, I appreciate both of you guys here. I want to learn all about the upcoming event.
You know, when
we've talked about a couple of different times.
Go from hobby to professional.
You may have heard Janet talking about it. We may have touched on it a few times.
You know, and that's just when you make your hobby a business. In any industry, it can go sour real fast.
Coming up, it is tough. The lucky thing is, I guess, in some ways, is that there is some expectation of an artistic perspective. You know, with a photographer, you expect a little bit of creative license there, but just having somebody tell you how things are supposed to look, it's really confining for an artist. Really confining. And so you just kind of think, don't like that.
They usually check in with Leanne.
Get a lot of people trying to tell you what to do.
Oh yeah.
Right?
So early on, you have to start the kind of the words I live by was like show what you want to shoot.
And then we're going to have a lot of great fun.
And so
we have a lot of entertainment planned.
If I'm shooting,
so let's talk a little bit about before we get too much into the details and the weeds.
Only photograph couples
between the two of you.
Be showing
what
couples on my marketing
Relay for Life? I remember.
For
somebody who didn't know anything about it.
And if I have a different style that I maybe a less traditional style, I'm only going to show those images.
Sierra Vista is a marvelous community for supporting people who maybe have some tough circumstances.
They come into that
One of my
conversation,
favorite
they're
parts
looking
is
to
this
hire
kind of
me.
a day
They
camp.
understand
We'll all
like
hang out
this
for
is
the
kind of
entire
already
day.
where they're at.
Teams
It's
are
going
out
to be
raising
my
funds
style.
by walking,
And so that's kind of where you start.
taking
And that's
turns
kind of
around
what you
the
want
track to
to do
signify,
when you start
that we're
out with
doing something that
photography.
the cancer
Is
patients can't
if you
do.
don't like shooting
Back
it,
in the day,
don't
it
show
was
it.
we walk
You know,
because
now
they
if someone
can't
comes to you and
sleep
say,
in.
"Hey, can you
It's
photograph
kind of backed
this
off. People aren't
thing?"
interested
You
in
know,
those
whatever
24-hour
that
and
is,
12-hour
and
events
then that's your
anymore.
choice.
People
Actually,
just,
I can do that.
society
Or I know
changes
you,
and,
I'd be okay with that. Or,
but we still get a lot done in 10
whatever kind of
hours.
the scenario
The
is.
mission
But
of Relay for Life
if
comes
they
into
come to
play.
me
It's
and
to
I've
raise
been
funds to
showing
improve
couples and I've been
cancer
showing
survival,
kind of this
decrease
flary,
incidences
vibrant,
of new
you know,
cancers,
maybe deep shadow
improve
type
the
look
quality of life
of
for
photography,
patients.
and they
that's
come to me and they're like,
probably
"Hey,
the
can you
most
do the
important thing
opposite?"
we
It's
do
like,
is we improve the
have you
quality
been
of
looking?
life.
Like,
that's kind of what my style is.
Family.
So
it affects everyone.
that's kind of
so the
where
vision, of
that's
course,
where
is
I
to
start
end
that
cancer
conversation.
for
In
everyone.
history, you know,
But until then, we
I've
want
had
to
really great
support
clients.
people
who
are suffering from the disease, and Relay does that with its signature
I don't really
element.
have
So tell me
a
about
lot
what
of
some of
really
those
bad
elements. So
interactions
these are the
with
things
people,
during the
because by the time they
celebration
come to
that
me,
they're going to be doing.
they approach me
Relay
or
for
want to
Life,
hire me.
a lot
They've
of
kind of
times
done
you may
their
hear
little bit of
celebrate,
research
remember,
where
fight back.
they feel like, oh,
So
like I like
what that
this. I like the
involves
direction
is
we're going
we're
here
celebrating
with
our
this photographer. And
survivors
then
who
I take it from
unfortunately
there.
have been told
That sounds
you
like
have
a good place
cancer.
for a break. Let's take a quick break. We'll
So,
come back. I want to talk to
we
you about
celebrate those that
relationships
are going
and
through
how
the battle
you
right
build
now
those
of
to get that
going
right
through
spark
chemotherapy,
in your
radiation,
photography.
and also
when we
their
come back.
families, of
So
course,
Bill
and their
Bonner with
caregivers.
Rain
We
Photography.
also
We'll be right
remember
back. This
those
is the
that
Sherry
we
Ethell
have
Team, Long
lost.
Realty
And
Studios.
so
Keeping it
the
real.
third word that you'll hear is fight back.
We're
And
the
we're
real
fighting back
wayfinders,
against
the
all
trailblazers,
cancers,
the
hoping that
go-getters.
one day
In a
we
town
hope
where
to
the
not
desert
have to
wakes
have
before
this
dawn,
event
we don't just
anymore.
talk,
The
we
other
make
thing
things
with
happen.
the celebrate and
And when
remember
we speak,
and fight
it's
back
real,
is,
it's genuine,
that's
and
signified
it's
by
worth
our
hearing.
luminarias
Tune
that
in
we
every
have at
Saturday
the
morning
event.
at 7
These
a.m. on
luminarias,
Cool
these are
1041
the white
FM. And join the
bags,
Sherry
the
Ethell Team
marked
for Keeping It
bags.
Real,
We do
where
have
top
some colored
realtors,
ones that are
local
purple
heroes,
gold as
and the
well.
heartbeat of our
But
community
basically,
come
we
together.
have
Raw,
participants or
authentic
just
conversations,
people that are coming
expert
today
market
relay
insights, and the
to
best
remember
local
their loved
events you
ones.
can't
So
afford to
usually
miss.
they'll put in
Keeping it
memory
real,
of or in honor
celebrating
of.
our
And
community.
then we have a
Bold,
luminaria ceremony
genuine,
that
one of a
lit up,
kind.
and it's a beautiful sight to see, and it's
Cochise County, it's that time again. The third annual Pups on Parade is back at Doc's Watering Hole, Saturday, November 15th from 11 to 2 p.m.
That's right. Join us at Doc's for music, food, vendors, a silent auction, on-site adoptions, and of course the all-shelter dog pup pageant. 10 amazing dogs from our local shelter will strut their stuff down the runway, competing in fun categories.
This must-see event benefits the Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter in cooperation with the Sierra Vista Police Department and the whole team at Nancy J. Brewer Animal Care Center.
Want to help our pups? Businesses and any community member who just loves dogs can donate a basket for the auction or sponsor a pup. $300 for show dogs, $150 for dogs back at the shelter. Call 717-599-2439 for details.
Sponsors get their name up on the big screens at Doc's, on the social media, and shout-outs throughout the show. It's a great way to give back and help the community.
It's a family affair, so bring your friends and family, enjoy some great food, and meet some possum dogs at the big show.
It's Pups on Parade, Saturday, November 15th at Doc's Watering Hole, because every dog deserves their day.
And of course, it's
all right. Welcome back. This is Keeping It Real with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. I'm here with Rain Photography, Bill Bonner, and Bill has been walking us through his expertise and talking about photography. We had some, talking about funny things you see at weddings, and he does a lot of them, a lot more than I actually thought you probably did. Now, what about when we left for the break? We were talking about relationships, and you kind of alluded to that a little bit. What
for people who
how
are
do you
facing this horrific
click?
disease?
How do you get people to click?
So
And
he spent
tell me some of that.
24
Maybe you got a
hours in
story or
spring
something.
day
Yeah. Well,
at
I'll
a
tell you, you
university
start with
track
liking
walking.
people.
He
You start
walked
there.
83 miles.
You
and
gotta
it was
like people?
cold.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
It could be in the
if you're
spring.
getting into a
He
people
never
job
sat
and you don't
down.
really
He
like
never
them,
rested.
I don't know
And
how that's gonna
people were
go.
willing to
Yeah.
give
I don't
him
know
a
how
little
that's
bit of
gonna
money.
go
He
for
would
you.
allow them to walk and run with
I don't
him.
know.
And so that was the
I'm a
first
people
relay
person.
for life.
I
And
You definitely are.
teacher
I enjoy
popped up
talking
and
to
got a
people
little
and kind
media
of
attention
getting to
for
know
him
people,
because
and
she
so
thought it was
a
important.
lot of
So
my
the single guy
photography
on the
was
track.
kind of developed based
Then
off
in
of maybe
86,
bad
19
scenarios.
teams
You know,
around the
my
country went,
wedding
hey, that's a great
was
idea. idea.
great, you know,
everybody knows about
there was a lot of things.
And they're everywhere, and then the next year there's more, and the next year's more. Well, you think ACS maybe started Relay for Life, but he didn't. Dr. Pratt started it, and then along about 92,
photography or being
American
a photographer
Cancer
is a lot
Society
of psychology.
Wow.
there's a lot of psychology. How does that person feel?
So it became their signature event.
Shoving a big piece of glass and metal in their face.
Just from this one guy.
It's in all kinds of different countries
and
now.
And so like
now, how long has it been going on?
There are a lot of barriers that you have to kind of break through relationally, and then eventually you kind of have to tap in a little bit psychologically and be able to understand like they're self-conscious about this.
And this is
all
like going down again at
back a couple years ago from different photography. They had this experience.
Oh yeah,
come back to this. And I had a bad experience, and my pictures were all bad, and
events
I don't want
the different activities there. But
they're paying money for this.
Keep it right.
And
do you find that most people are a little, I guess, self-conscious about things? I mean, at least from my perspective, it seems like a lot of people don't like their picture taken, or they don't think they're very photogenic.
It starts from like a place of when you think of the last photo you've had taken of yourself.
Yeah.
It was probably you at a social gathering. You had probably nacho dip hanging out of your mouth. One eye was winky and the other eye was kind of open, looking the other way. You know what I mean? And you're like your guts, you're kind of like slouched over maybe, and your guts showing. Whatever the scenario is.
Yeah.
That's what
not always flattering.
Yes, it's not the most flattering thing. And so like that's kind of like where people start when it comes to photography. It's like when they think of that. Yeah, they think of that. It's like, dude, and now it's blasted all over. It's my aunt's, profile picture, and I'm in the background looking like that. You know what I mean? Like
that's kind of a hurdle for you, though. Jeez.
So there's like a little bit of trust building there, right?
Realty Studios. I am here joined with Tammy Sappho and Janet Morlock.
Like I'm not going to take a bunch of horrible looking photos and be like, hey, you want to buy
for life this year? This
it's going to be
October 25th.
It's funny. It's like, how can I make you look the best, feel the best, and then look at these images at the end and say,
history, which is amazing.
I've never looked better than that.
That's hard to believe.
Whatever the difficult scenario is, kind of navigating through
you're raising funds.
So there's a little trust building. I'll take a couple photos.
What do they go for?
Hey,
what's the impact there for our community?
And then if they're like, hey, maybe I like that photo, and then they see maybe what they're self-conscious about.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, can you do something about X? And it's like, yeah, no, thank you for letting me know. We can navigate through that. And whatever the technique and process is,
I know someone very personal to me
any kind of
research
obstacle
is helping, and
whether it's an eye, whether it's a size, whether it's
he went through 40 rounds of radiation. He was told
whatever someone has, because everyone has it. Everyone has something
everybody does
that they don't like or feel self-conscious about.
It is funny that you touched on something though too. When you do have a good photograph, when somebody actually catches that, and you're like, wow, that's the best I've ever looked.
So
you're kind of shocked that ended up you. And you're like,
that are given to doctors.
That's amazing.
Because
most people take crappy pictures of you,
exactly,
or of yourself, and you're like, oh man.
Exactly.
I remember one time I was out hunting, and of course, lots of pictures had been taken, and then somebody took a picture, and I was kind of to the side, so just started from behind, and this is a long time ago. But I was like, who's that guy? And they're like, that's you. Oh my gosh, I'm fat.
If you're just starting your journey,
holy crap, I look fat and gray.
Yeah. A folder that pretty much helps you with doctor's appointments,
I was like, wow, I never want to be in another picture.
But they're help, and so this money goes towards.
I mean, I go through it.
It also goes towards.
I need to really sit up straight.
Help me lose weight though.
Yeah, maybe it's a little motivation.
Detection, education.
But yeah, that's kind of the idea.
So we're trying to remind people.
I hear often, hey, Bill, there's too many options. Like you take too many photos, too many good photos. Like I don't know what to pick.
Men, do your PSAs.
I want to get there. If I show you your picture, you're like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah. At a city worker.
It's a four-letter effort. The four-letter effort in my book, man. So I'm not doing fine here. I'm going for great. I'm going for best. I'm going for those things.
And
so
been as well off as he's doing today.
That response.
So it makes a difference.
So that's amazing.
If you're saying fine.
What's your favorite kind of photography? Keeps changing, and of all the things that you've shot, and because you have a pretty broad array, like you mentioned, small town on this. You got to do it all, but what's your favorite?
My favorite's couples. Maybe my favorite's couples. Yeah, whether that's just a straightforward couple shoot, whether that's a wedding,
the actual event that you host,
a special event with just two people.
Things are going to be there. I mean, what kinds of activities will we find?
The romanticism.
Well, we're going to have a DJ this year. DJ Mikey is going to be up there on the stage,
the light catching,
playing some music. So we're going to have fun with that.
I love capturing love.
We also have two great MCs, Sheriff Daniels and Jeff Davenport. They'll will be up
I
there
love
on
to
the stage
kind of take
helping us
people
out.
And kind of,
along with the
this is
mayor
what I
will
tell
be
people.
there
I say,
representing.
we're
But
gonna
they're
go
up
have
there along with, we have some Sierra Vista Royalty that'll be there as well. And so they're going to help throughout the event.
With a creepy third wheel.
So some of the things that they're going to be doing are games and activities such
I'm gonna be in the bushes,
as
like hiding.
Contest, which
that's awesome. I remember screaming out of the bushes.
It's always
kiss
fun
her,
to see.
kiss her.
And also,
it's just it's going to be that.
We're going to have
and so
women of wisdom.
It kind of goes back into that interaction piece of like, how do you then take people and kind of make them comfortable in front of a camera?
Get out there and get
active. How do they, look natural?
One of the
or
best,
let's say they're
activities, I think, of the event, and I think Janet would agree with me, is mystery
how do you
relay.
take that
So we
and make them look
have
comfortable?
gentlemen of all ages
and have a picture that like, wow,
participate,
they're
and
great
they
together.
get dressed up
they look
in
like
women's
you did
clothing,
catch that candid,
and they lip sync to a song of their choosing for about 30 seconds.
Pose you to make you look natural and candid.
And some of them have little dance routines.
Come away with it like, oh,
and so then after they get done, they're interviewed by the MCs
really special moment.
and
awesome.
Miss Sierra Vista,
So, and all of this with photography is how do people find you? Somebody who's listening right now, we've been talking photography for a long time, really likes what you're all about, likes what you're talking about, the fact that you're local too is awesome.
And that occurs later in the evening.
How do they reach you? How do they find you? What do you have?
My website is real easy. www.rain.photography.
This year we
that's how it ends. It's just the TDL is a dot photography.
So
I didn't even know there's such a thing.
And thankfully we have a JROTC teacher that is heading that
I learn something every day. I learn stuff on this show all the time. So dot photography.
So if you typed in rain dot photography, boom, you're there.
You're there.
Key Club, Student Council.
On Facebook,
so they're going to be helping out with the kids area. They're going to be at Jumping Castle as well as basketball.
And then Instagram, I do Instagram, but I do all cell phone photography on
Face
Instagram.
Painting will be there.
And that's fun.
So kind of
it will be. And then
explore
as people are walking around the track, they're going to see what the teams
That's always kind of cool. That's one of the things. So before we go, I wanted to touch base on that. So we talked about that in the very beginning. Obviously, the cell phone being a great tool that it is, the walking cameras get better and better and better. And so you have basically billion people out there using a phone, taking pictures. And so you're now kind of in a little bit of competition. And it's kind of weird with social media and the way it's kind of gone. You now have this, I don't know, amateur thing that's almost desirable to people to get that realism and everything. How does that impact you?
It could be a cakewalk. It could be, we have the junior ROTC from Tombstone is doing a pennies fundraiser.
You can drop a camera
whatever
on the ground
they want to
and take a
do.
good picture.
We have
if the scenario is perfect,
right? Every squirrel gets in that.
Yeah, exactly. We do have some people that would sponsor, a youth to do so many laps.
When people are kind of exploring that idea and that,
but it's really got a lot more
of
options.
Taking a good photo,
they can almost do anything.
Hey, look at this.
They can do anything.
People show me all the time. Hey, I was on a trip.
They so desire that helps raise money for cancer.
Every once in a while, you get someone like, hey, can you help me? Critique me. And I'll walk them through like, okay,
and they raised,
do this, or maybe I'll take the photo and I'll edit it and then just come and present that
to you at the day of the event, or
and show it to them. But
what happens is we have meetings throughout the year because we're fundraising and trying to coordinate for this event
getting someone comfortable.
So we have meetings, and so the teams come to the meetings. They can turn in the money, and we have with technology, it's been really amazing. We have a fundraising app that a lot of people use.
Amateurs,
you just download it on your phone.
People
the American Cancer Society fundraising app.
Competition. I
so you can download that,
essentially you're hiring the person. You're hiring
money through that.
Versus
they can go online
the next person,
and by credit card and donate by that as well.
Choice.
And so the teams will come to the meetings, and next Monday we're having our bank night. So they come to the meeting, they turn in their room areas, they turn in money, they pick up supplies that we get
exploring
for them for their team
and growing in the art
site.
and trying to
improve
in the art. Like I love the idea of people continuing on that way.
We're there for a reason,
but
we're there to also have fun and bring the community together, and it's an amazing community.
That's kind of interesting because it kind of is. I can totally kind of understand. Obviously, being a professional photographer, I've seen your photos and they're amazing. So it's pretty hard to duplicate that with a cell phone anyway. It's just the moments and everything that you're able to capture. You've got that eye for it. Most of his I'm here with Keepin It Real, and I'm here with Tammy Strathbone, and but at the same time, it's cool that you embrace it and that you're, hey, I love the fact that everybody's kind of coming to my world,
exploring it a little bit.
Interesting.
I mean, when I travel, guess who's the worst taking pictures casually?
Really? No way.
And so when I travel, I do use my phone. I try to get the top iPhone at the time and stuff because of the camera technology and stuff.
Right.
And I do edit my stuff on the iPhone and stuff like that. So, but when I travel, that's how I take pictures because I was just talking about this. When I take my whole kit, if you will, my big camera and the lights and stuff like that, I want that all the time. That's how I shoot with that piece of equipment. And so if I can't have all the pieces, I'm just gonna. I wish I had my whatever piece of equipment to finish the job.
All right, welcome back to Keepin It Real. I'm Dion Ethell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios here.
But it is
I'm a team realtor,
right?
but I'm also
it's a camera
the show,
phone, and I'm taking this picture, documenting the trip,
Tammy Strathbone and Janet Morlock from Really for Life.
And that's kind of why also
Pirates of the Caribbean, I think, is your theme this year. That's a great way to say it, and I kind of close on this. And just the 2025 you mentioned document on a trip and everything, and I feel like kind of that is the way it is. You're kind of documenting an experience or whatever versus your stuff instills a feeling.
Now, we were just talking.
You could get some pictures sometimes when you're on a trip and you're documenting and you get a feeling, but it's not in every picture, Whereas I've seen some of your shoots and I've seen like there's almost feeling in every single one of them, and that you captured, and you're like, wow, even just you talking about going from the three-dimensional world to the two-dimension photograph, and talking about the photograph of love, and that's what you like doing.
Last year,
It instills a feeling
amazing,
to you.
And it was pretty off the cuff. They didn't really even plan it much.
That
we always do the Survivor lap,
which is cool.
And you're going to want to be there for that because we're opening up at 2 o'clock, and by 3 o'clock we'll have the Survivors. And if you want to feel good about something, if you want to see strength and resiliency,
it's your art piece, it's your wall piece.
We got to raise money, but my favorite part of Relay is
the best part about it is
that lap,
because
And I have a picture that you'll probably that's on my Facebook page.
Bill, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I really, those of you who are thinking about professional photography to get some for your family, your kids, your dogs, whatever it might be, a car. He's actually taking a picture of my car, and it's amazing. I want to blow it up into this gigantic poster. So yeah, it's really cool stuff. He does a great work, and Bill, I appreciate you coming on the show today, talking a little bit about.
I had a lot of fun.
I mean, we only hit the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly.
We'll have to come back.
Exactly.
We'll have to talk about something very specific, maybe.
Yeah, so
we can get into it. I've never seen anything.
We can nerd out.
Like
That's fine.
They come in and they're happy. They smile.
All right. Well, this is Bill Bonner, Rain Photography. Go check him out, and whether you're on Facebook or it's rain.photography for your website, all you have to do is Google that, and
so that's
you'll find
the
him.
routine stuff that we're going to keep doing forever.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. This is Sherry Ethell Team, Long Realty Studios, with Keepin It Real. We'll be right back after these messages.
Because, we want people there celebrating our survivors, our caregivers. We want people out there enjoying those luminaries. We want people sharing the hope till that very end. So we have a closing lap. We decided that we did something spectacular at the end of the event that people were still in. So I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about that because you're going to be at the event to hear a little more about it, but we've got some great prizes that were donated by some sponsors this year. We've got some items that are going to make for great raffles, great prizes. You're going to want to stay around till the bitter end. We're also going to do some cool stuff because after all, we are the pirates of the Caribbean. We're asking teams to decorate their campsites so we can have a contest for the best pirate themed decoration. Of course. Here we go, right? You bet. And so best costumes, because cancer is a serious topic.
It is.
But keeping people upbeat and having fun.
That brings us to the end of another Keepin' It Real radio show, and we just want to say a big thank you for letting us be a small part of your weekend. Whether you're a long-time listener or just caught us for the first time today, we're so glad you're here. Got something you'd love us to talk about? Maybe a local story, a cool event, maybe a guest idea, maybe you're related to or know someone who has an interesting story, profession, or past. We would love to hear from you. So drop it in our Keepin' It Real suggestion box at Long Realty. We're located just behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard.
Or if it's easier, you can email me directly at sherry@sherryetthelteam.com or call me or text me at 717-599-2439. This is your show, and it's all about our community, our connections, and the what's up of Cochise County, and as always, keeping things real. And your voice will help shape what we do next. We'll see you next Saturday from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on 104.1 Cool FM, making radio cool again.
And
stay safe and stay cool, Cochise County, and keep it real.
Found all their treasures and has all their stamps. They're going to have a chance at another raffle.
Keepin' It Real radio show. Join us next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. for more engaging interviews with top realtors and industry leaders, keeping you informed about the latest trends in real estate. Stay connected with us as we bring you updates on the dynamic events shaping our vibrant community. From exciting local happenings to noteworthy charities and causes, we've got you covered. See you next week for another edition of Keepin' It Real.
The backbone of this event, who keeps us all